Is it possible to have a program that has a high level of academics and athletics? Yes. Who just won the national championship? Stanford. That's the highest level of scholastic volleyball we have in this country, and they just won the national championship. So clearly it is, and I would even argue that having players who are strong academically is an asset to an athletic program, because somebody who's strong academically usually has some work ethic, and usually they understand how studying, which is practicing your subject, your academic subject, that's what studying is, translates to performance on a test, which is competition. A test is an academic version of competition. So if you have somebody who excels in the classroom, they probably already understand how work correlates to performance. Now you just got to get them to understand how that works on the volleyball court. And now with that said, I do think there's two types of effort, and in your question you kind of hit on this. So what you kind of said was some of these players who are smart or they work hard in the classroom, they don't put it all out there physically. And when I'm coaching with Tom Black at Georgia, he said we have to work hard and we have to work smart. And in my experience, most players, they fall into one category or the other as a natural strength. So you got some kids that will always bust their butt physically, and they're sweating every single practice, and they're going after it. But for the life of you, you can't get them to focus on a technique aspect, like how they hold their hands or how they take their footwork, because they just want to go. They just want to put out maximum effort, and it's hard for them to rein it back, focus their mind on making a technical change. And then you have kids who will listen to the technique and they'll work on the finer points of how to hold their hands or do this, but they're a little afraid to get sweaty. They don't put it out there physically. So like fixing anything, the first step is identifying the issue, identifying the weakness. So you do that as a coach, and you can use that little bit of a mental framework. Okay, which players do I see working hard but not smart? And which players do I see working smart but not as hard? And then what you do is you share this with the players. You share with the team. You say, we have to work hard and we have to work smart. And everybody has natural strengths and weaknesses. You guys, and sometimes with teenagers, they don't have to share in front of the group. You say, hey, you guys don't have to share in front of the group, but take 10 seconds now to think, do you naturally work hard and you really get sweaty, but it's hard for you to focus on making a technique change? Or are you naturally, you focus on your technique, but sometimes it's hard for you to sustain high level of physical effort? Either one, it's not right or wrong. It's just a strength and a weakness. You ask your players, take a second to think about that. The first step, if you can't feel it, you can't fix it. We say that with technique all the time. It's the same thing with this. It's a mental skill. So just raising the awareness that this exists, that will do wonders sometimes for your players. Because sometimes you have a player who puts it out physically, and you're saying, hey, you gotta work on make this change. They think the answer is to put it out more physically. And then they don't understand why you're upset at them, because they're busting their butt physically. And on the flip side, which is a little bit like what you talked about, you have these players who really want to think about what they need to do and the technique to change, but they're not putting it out there physically. So when you ask them for more, they're going to get more intellectual about it, because that's their strength. That's what they naturally go to. When you ask more of people, they naturally go to their strength. So then they're not going to understand. They think they're putting more out for you, but what you're not as asking is, you don't want to ask for more. You want to ask for different strategy. So I think if you just raise that concept of work hard, work smart, and that most people naturally tend towards one or the other, and ask them for a little self-awareness, I bet you'll be surprised how far that goes.